Hey everyone, it is Sunday night, October 9th, I believe is what it is. And well, it's not quite Sunday night yet, but I think it's 6:45, somewhere around there. So it's already starting to get dark here a little bit earlier. So I wanted to show you something that I've been working on for a little bit, and going to show you for anybody that has been keeping up with the channel. There used to be 4 clementine trees, citrus trees right there. And then this was the sprayers right here, the misters right there, all along here, those little orange ones hanging down here. And I planted these a little bit too late in the season. It's not gonna quite make it because it's turned off pretty cool. But yeah, I had 4, you can see where the pots were, 4 citrus trees, clementine trees, and I got them really small. They put on tons of size this year, and I do mean tons. Like, they got massively large. So what we're gonna do is, this is something I've been working on, and since we have the temporary fence here, not discovered, but it's a lot easier. This is my daughter JJ's pram. Old school, came all the way over from England, but we can just make it through the house here. And now I don't have this, I'm not quite all the way done yet. I just have to do the water sprinkler system, but this little shed right back here, we weren't using for anything because we ended up getting a trash service. We used to keep some of the trash in here in cardboard boxes and things like that. But now there's nothing in there, and I'm like, well, since there's nothing in there, let's just take a look. Now what we have here, these are the clementine trees, all 4 of them right here, and they've gotten, I mean, you can see they've gotten massive, absolutely massive. Like, when I got them, they were just little, and this is just from 1 year, just sitting outside, nothing special about them. And I don't know what type of light, so I'll go over that. But anyway, as you can tell, they're doing really nice in here. Now what I have here are 2 grow lights. Now these, I don't know how good the color's gonna come through, but these are actually individually in there. Okay, it all looks like it's one color for the most part, but there's red, there's yellow, there's blue, there's 1 or 2 infrared, and there's 1 or 2 UV in both of these lights. And they're 2,000 watt a piece grow lights, which is pretty aggressive. But I wanted them to not just survive during the winter because they're citrus trees. I actually wanted them to thrive and put on a bunch of sides. So that's what we have going on here now. So what I have, grow light number 1, grow light number 2, and there in this device right here, in this device has an on-off schedule. They're both plugged into here. And what this does is you tell it the day of the week, and then when to turn on, when to supply power on, and when to shut power off to it. And so I have these grow lights coming on at 5 in the evening, and they run until 9 in the morning. So it's like a 16-hour long day. And now I have these 2x4s that I made, and what I'm going to do here is I have more of those misters, and I'm going to put those misters and all the tubing on them, you know, so that way it's going to be watering basically on this side, and then in the middle, and then on this side. And I just have because I don't have any water out here, and so I have a 55-gallon container here that's about half full that I'm going to run a hose up to my pump, which I'm going to work on this tonight. And from the pump, there's the inlet right there. And then from the outlet of the pump, I have a programmable watering system. So right now I'm just gonna have 1 zone, but this thing I can have up to 4 zones on it. I'm just gonna have 1, and it's gonna kick on for 1 minute every 4 hours to water these. And then it's gonna, like I said, the hose is gonna be done in this container right here. And I'm going to put a little bit of liquid fertilizer in there with micronutrients, so that way it'll go ahead and every time it kicks on, it'll be getting nitrogen. I'm not actually going to put any fertilizer in the plants themselves. So that's what we have going right now. I'm going to get to work And by the way, this pump right here has an automatic. What this is, this little black spot on the front right here, this is a pressure switch. So once I turn it on, it pumps up the pressure, but until this opens up, it'll take it up to pressure, which this I have it set to 55 PSI, and you can set it from, I think, 15 to 60. I'm gonna leave it at 55. But then, so it'll pump up the pressure and it'll shut off. And then once this opens up on the internal and starts watering, then this will kick back on and it'll supply more than enough water to the whole thing. And then the sprinklers are gonna be coming down. But I need to get that all done first. All the water, or all the plumbing done first. And also, and it's gonna be plugged into this power strip, and also something else plugged into that power strip is, which I'm not using right now because this heater that I have seems to be doing good enough. But right now, just this heater with a thermostat on the bottom. And I have the thermostat set, and it's about 82 degrees in here right now. It's only 60 degrees outside, but it stays pretty much right around 80 most of the time. And this building is right by some trees, some tall trees. So it doesn't get direct sunlight, and it's actually insulated pretty well. This isn't just thin plastic. It's there's a dead space of about 2.5 inches in between here. So that heater, like, it's not running right now. Like, it doesn't have to run very much. Plus these lights here put out a decent amount of heat as well. And then the last thing that I have is this guy right here. Monitors temperature. Ooh, 86 degrees. So this monitors temperature and humidity. And it's connected Wi-Fi, and I just have it running right here, you know, power over to, here, I'll show you. Plugged into the USB port right there. But anyways, Wi-Fi connected, so I can check my app and make sure that the temperature's all right and make sure the humidity's all right. Now, once I get this where it's turning on, because right now I have to bring a hose in and spray these every day. But once I get the watering system set up, then that humidity should be running 80% higher all the time and make this into basically a tropical environment. So I'm gonna get started here in a minute, getting the plumbing all put together, and then I'll show you when it's all done and show you how it works. Hey everyone, back in here. I got done with all the plumbing, should be completely all done, so I'm going to give you kind of an overview of it here real quick to show you what I did. So we have automatic lights, we have automatic watering, and heated and everything else. It's about, it says it's 84 degrees in here and 60% humidity, although I'm standing in here and I'm like, there's no way 60% humidity, it's a lot higher. So, but it takes a while for that to stabilize. So let me show you what I have here now. So what I got is I got a 55-gallon tote here, and I put about 20 gallons of water in it, 25 gallons of water in it. Just gonna leave it open to help with the humidity, because they're citrus trees, they like humidity. So I mean 80-90% is what I'm shooting for, higher than 80%. But anyway, what we have here is the big hose comes up and then plugs into my pump with the pressure switch. So it's activated right now, but this is my automatic watering. This guy right over here is my automatic watering timer. And when that's closed, then that builds up to pressure and then it stops. So, and you can see the next one, it's 8:57 right now. And the next watering here is 9 o'clock, so three minutes from now. And so what I did is I just ran it out here, and then I ran it over, T down, and basically you see the little orange tips hanging down. Those are all misting nozzles. So have it here so it mists right underneath, and I have them pointed down and in, so I won't get too much overspray here on the floor. But getting a little bit of overspray on this, I'm not horribly worried about. I might have to put plastic down at some point, but I don't really mind rotting the wood in here because it's already in bad shape. And if it holds water and helps with the humidity situation, then yeah, it's just the way it goes. And then I'll tear it out next year and put in pressure treated plywood. So that's what we have. And then at the end here, this is the end of the line, but what I did, instead of just putting it at the end of the line, I have a return line, and that's what this line is here. And this return line goes back here to the same place. And the reason why I did that is because I can kink it off, or I can put a spray nozzle to increase or decrease the pressure going through the nozzles here. But I think just leaving it intact and open like that seems to be giving me pretty good results. So I think I'm just going to leave it for right now. And obviously it might have to change here in a little bit, or, you know, during the course of, you know, running here, maybe I decide like, I need a little more pressure, a little less pressure. But either way, it's fine right now. But anyway, these are my clementine trees, citrus. They almost grow in Georgia, and they can survive just fine if I were to take it. This is going to kick on in the next minute or so. And these could almost survive outside. Now, they could easily survive if I took them inside, you know, for the winter. But then they're not going to really grow. They're not really going to put on fruit very well. They need a grow light. Well, these things, I want them to get big enough, so I'm, you know, juicing them pretty good. And I want them to get, so I'm actually running 16 hours of daylight right now. Now, 16 hours out of these LED grow lights. There we go. So you can see they all kicked on here now. And now the pump ran. And so it's pulling it from that line through the pump. It's shooting it through these. You can see all of them working there. And then it returns them back through there, and you can see it's being agitated right there too, which is really nice. That's what I'm looking for. And I actually put my liquid fertilizer in here already, so it's being fertilized at the same time. And so you can come up here and see how well it's working. Everything has a nice coating on it. Yep, all the leaves, these are all getting touched out here pretty good. And these are all curling just a little bit because I've been baking them pretty hard with the light without much water. So now that's taken care of. Although I can see with the duration that this is going right now, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to, I've been doing this 4 times a day. I think I'm gonna have to knock it down to twice a day. And then she shuts off. After 1 minute, I have them set to run for 1 minute right now. So, and now they're just going to drip because there's a little bit of water in the line. They're just going to drip for a little bit, and then everything's going to be good. So that's it for the growing, the little grow house. Now, the bad part is that I'm looking here, and I do have plenty of room that I can, let me get that further away. I do have plenty of room in here, so that way I could grow a lot more stuff in here. And what my thought is bring in apple trees to get them growing during the winter as well. If I'm already heating it and everything else, it's not going to take much to, you know, to put something else down, but the lights and everything else. But I'm like, yeah, but then I have to basically, I'm like, I'll wait until maybe next year or something like that. By the way, another thing with this big open tub of water, another thing that does, in addition to humidity, because there's no mosquitoes in here obviously, is it helps once the water gets up to temperature. Then if the door opens and closes, you have all this mass that's sitting there that's sitting here for 84 degrees. And so if it acts like it just radiates heat if the door opens and then closes, and it helps normalize the temperature in the room quite a bit. So that's all I have. Got everything finished here. It appears to be working really nice. I'll check it to make sure. I have a little bit of a leak over here. By me, it's like one drip every 2 minutes. So I'm going to leave it for right now, but I'll probably address it tomorrow. So I hope everybody had a good weekend. And it is, October 9th, Sunday, October 9th. Hope everybody had a good weekend, and we'll see you next time.